Jeff Passell, who's a demographer at the Pew Hispanic Center, describes the changes in the U.S. population with a focus on changes to child and youth populations, and he clearly demonstrates that given the low birth rates among the native-born white and black populations, most of the growth of the U.S. labor force over the next 40 years will come from immigrants and their children. This means we need to take this segment of the population and their education and their mobility very seriously. We need to recognize as a society, we are going through profound demographic transformations. We are aging rapidly, and we have to replace our labor force. There's no doubt when you look at the numbers and the trends that at this moment, not 20 years down the line, not the next generation, we need to prepare U.S. children and youth, including the children of immigrants of all statuses, for a U.S. market, one that is facing greater global competition. And several statistics and trends are worth noting from Passell's analysis. Currently, we have the largest number of children ever in the United States, 75 million, but they make up the smallest share of the population ever before, about 24%. Of these 75 million, nearly 1 in 4 are children of immigrants. So that's those born in the United States plus those born abroad. 84% of children of immigrants were actually born in the United States. Most importantly, because of the 20th century trends in U.S. birth rates, baby boom, the baby bust, immigration, also people living longer, the ratio of children to seniors is changing dramatically. At the beginning of the 20th century, there were 10 children to every senior. In 20 years, that's 2030, Passell estimates that the ratio is expected to be only 1.2. For every 1.2 child, there will be one senior. So this is high drama over the next 2 decades. When you look at the demographic composition of the United States as a whole, taking into account age, together with race and ethnicity, there's a generational divide that has implications for the future workforce. Currently, children are more likely to be ethnic or racial minorities, 43%. Adults are more likely to be native-born white, 70%. And competition for government resources exists between these two groups, especially when you look at seniors and children as two groups that draw on resources. And it's worse during recessionary times. My Brookings colleague, Bill Fry, has shown that much of the demographic momentum for the racial and ethnic compositional changes are already in place. The child population under age 3 is already majority non-white. He shows that even if immigration stopped tomorrow, we will achieve a national minority majority child population by 2050, by 2023 if current immigration trends continue. So we should be aware also of the heterogeneity of immigrant children. It's not just their country of birth, languages spoken, their nativity status, but also their age at arrival, as Mark has pointed out. There's been a growing trend of youth arriving, particularly from Mexico and Central America and countries without high school education who are not in school now, and the majority of them are likely destined for low-skilled, low-paying jobs. As Ron and Marta have shown through this volume, the children of immigrants, particularly those from Mexico and Central America, have lower grades, lower high school completion, lower college attainment than most other groups of children and youth. And given that they're the fastest growing group and that children of immigrants are a huge part of the future workforce of this country and hence the prosperity of this country, there's really no time to waste in getting people prepared to participate in the economy, and it makes excellent economic sense.